I'm going to show you a very special setup. I'm using this setup to catch delta moves in the micro NQ. I'll show you all the settings towards the end of the video. Basically, when we have a bunch of delta coming into the upside or the downside, I've got the ultimate delta indicator printing these arrows, and then I've got the market maker chart buttons that can get me into a trade automatically when one of these arrows appears. Looking to catch some bigger delta pushes in the MNQ. So the delta on the MNQ is very different than the delta on the regular NQ. This is a 1 minute micro NASDAQ chart. This is a 60-minute micro NASDAQ chart. And this is a regular 5-minute NQ chart. And I also have some delta information for the ES right below it. I'm going to be messing around doing some practice trading in playback mode. However, I have countless videos on the channel if you want to see these indicators in live action and see my live trades that I'm taking every day. Check out some of the other videos on the channel. On this 60-minute chart, I've got a little bit wider of an ATM, and on this 1 minute chart, I've got a pretty tight scalping ATM that moves to break even after 7 ticks. So it's about to turn 9:30. Market's about to open. I'm going to put a pending buy and a pending sell order in. So whatever hits first at 9:30 during the open, it's going to put me into a trade. So I'm watching delta down here. And we also get the entry. Looks like it did not put me into my ATM. So I'm going to tap out. I can hit the giant X button. It's going to get me out of the trade automatically. It also cancels any pending orders. I fixed my ATM issue. I did not have any ATM loaded. With these pending buy and sell orders, it's going to use the ATM that you have loaded on your chart trader. So for the outlines of the candles, I've got the ultimate Heikin-Ashi painting the candles. And then for the insides of the candles, I've got the ultimate delta painting the candles. It's either dark red or dark green for a strong bullish or bearish delta. And then anything less is just painting the candles black inside. So if I've had this big move up and this 1 minute candle gets close to closing and it's not strong delta anymore, I might be looking for a bounce trade short if we are near a key level. But right now at the open, nothing but strong bullish delta across the board. I've got my delta threshold for the micro NASDAQ 1 minute chart set at 500. So we're getting some hold up here at R1. When this candle gets close to closing, I'm going to look to see where the delta is. If the inside of the candle is black, I might look for a little bounce trade short. So delta's drying up. I'm going to go short here. Apparently I do not have an ATM loaded on this chart either. Super pro. All right, there's my 10 points. I just X'd out manually there. So I would have got my 10-point fill there if the ATM would have been loaded. From the close of this candle, we dropped down over 12 points there. I got in about 8 seconds before it closed. We had point of control up into the wick right off of the R1. Delta was drying up. So these arrows I've got printing on each tick, but there's also the option to have them print on bar close. See right here we got this arrow to the upside, but the candle did not finish strong bullish. So this arrow would have never appeared if we used it on bar close. This will come down purely to personal preference. You can get into trades a little bit earlier sometimes if you've got the arrows printing on each tick, but you can also avoid some potentially bad signals by using it on bar close. Back here in pre-market, even if we waited till bar close, got in at 349, price dropped over 22 points in a couple minutes, and then this arrow would have never appeared because the candle did not finish in the strong bearish zone. But depending on when the arrow appeared, you might have been able to get in 10 points intra-bar. So here we got a bearish arrow from the delta, but it also dried up a little bit. So as this candle was closing, we ended up closing in the strong bearish zone. If I didn't want to use a pending order and I'd missed the arrow, I've got this chart set up just to take market orders, or I can also flip this into market mode as well, just with the click of a button. Market orders, pending orders. But as this candle was closing, I could have got into a short there. Did drop over 13 points right away. So we had this nice move up. We're getting a little retracement. Got this area of large buying on the delta profile right at the 20 SMA. So if I want to take the next long after we've got this pullback, I can wait for some more delta to come in, get in on a long trade. See, we just bounced right off of this 15-minute center. It's one of my favorite key levels. All right, there's the long signal. We do have some room up to our take profit. It's before R1 pivot. See, I had a ATM that moves my stop up to break even once I'm 7 points in profit. And there's the 10 points. If you want to trade more than 1 micro, you can just change your ATM to trade 5 contracts on the micros or whatever you like. And then when the pending buy or sell order hits from the arrow, it will put you in the 5 contracts of your ATM if that's what you have selected. So R1 is holding right now. Say if we do break above, we might get a little push, especially if we get a bunch of delta coming in to the upside. So I got a pending buy order in right now. I'm going to be watching price. I want to make sure it's closing above the R1 with strong delta coming in. Otherwise, I'm going to cancel this order. We've got a lot of strong buying here on the delta profile, all up in this area. If it heads south, then no worries. I'm not going to be put into a buy order. Right now, we're wicking off of R1. We got point of control up into these wicks. But if we do break this area, that's going to be pretty dang bullish. Right, we got a strong sell interbar. Then it quickly dried up. I'm not currently looking for shorts. We already had the pullback. Definitely been on a bullish kick so far. I like first touches of key levels, but as we're approaching a second time and sometimes a third time, I'm definitely cautious about a potential breakout. So there's our long. We had the positive delta coming in. Stop loss got moved up to break even. We got stopped out for break even there. If I still believed in the trade, I could just enter a market order. Got my stop below this strong gamma level. Got a lot of strong bullish delta on the 5-minute. The ES delta is picking up pretty good. There's the take profit. We just got put into another strong buy pretty much right away. Looks like it would have hit the 10-point target instantly. I could also use a different ATM that didn't have such a tight trailing stop. See, we've got a ton of positive delta coming in on this 1-minute candle now. With the delta, after a huge move, if we're getting a really strong push in the delta, I'm always a little bit cautious of potential exhaustion. Getting large spikes in delta does not always guarantee a move in that direction. Sometimes it ends up just being exhaustion right at the end of a move. Then you'll get a big retracement. No real key levels in the way until this next 50% level up near whole number. Then we've got the 50 level right here, which I consider to be a key level. So maybe if we get delta drying up and the delta starts turning more neutral, might look for a little bounce trade short there. Delta is definitely declining as we're moving up here. Gonna wait more towards the end of this candle though. All right, we had a steep drop off there right at the end, had a little delta wick. So I manually put in a market order short. Got my stop above the high here. We'll see if we get a 10-point pullback from the 50 area after the steep delta drop off there. It's turning a little bit bearish now. Could also use a pending buy order as a stop loss. So if we did get a signal to the upside, it would take me out of this trade. So that's an option. Whoops. So I hit the X button to cancel the buy order, but it also took me out of the trade that I was in there. So there was the arrow that appeared around 48, would have taken us out of the trade around break even, I think. Can't remember exactly where I got in. The Heikin-Ashi outline is still green here. Ideally, I'm looking for the Heikin-Ashi and the delta to be in the same direction, especially if it has just changed directions. Like here was green, and then we turned red Heikin-Ashi with red strong delta, got a nice move down. Here we were red. Now we got a green Heikin-Ashi with strong positive delta, nice push up. Same thing here, red on red after the green. We popped down 15 points. This was a mixed bag. We had the dark green, but we had the red Heikin-Ashi outline. Didn't really go very far. On this candle, we had the red Heikin-Ashi outline, but the candle actually finished positive delta. So mixed signals there. But then on this candle, when we turned green and we had the green bullish delta, we had a nice move up there. Right now, we've got some mixed signals. We've got strong bearish delta, but the Heikin Ashi is still green. So you can make up whatever kind of rules you want to adhere to. Here's red on red action. It's intra-bar. We'll see how this candle actually closes. You would need to drop down to around 23 to get the 10 points. All right, we finished with neutral delta, plus we have a decent sized bottom wick with point of control down on the wick. Definitely not very bearish there. And there's really no key levels around, so I'm not looking for a short at the moment. Next key level we have is up near whole number. We're kind of in no man's land in the middle of some key levels, so just waiting. So now we turned green. Say if we do get some more delta to the downside, strong delta, I'd be interested in a sell. Been lingering for a while, so it's probably going to break out to the upside or the downside at some point. There's a bullish signal intra-bar. See how the candle actually closes. So the candle actually closed neutral. This was a previous area of big selling, so if it does drop down below this area, we got some room down to this next level on the delta profile. This is from the MMT Greek profile. This is in delta profile mode, showing previous areas of strong buying and selling over a completely customizable range. So this price action is pretty bad. This candle is about to close. We are very close to the trigger. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to put in a manual sell. We came pretty dang close to 500 there. We might stop above this candle high there. Looks like we're about one tick from take profit. It's not moving fast enough. Just going to exit out. Price action is pretty bad. Already took a bunch of good trades. So I wanted the first breakout trade. Not trying to catch sloppy seconds here. We're getting pretty close to the 20 SMA there as well. And we just been on a holy terror to the upside, so I'm just going to end the trading part of the video there. But those are some of the ways that I'd be trading it. It's pretty much just my usual setup, just with a few tweaks to trade the MNQ specifically on the 1 minute chart. So I've got the ultimate VWAP on the chart, got the ultimate POC on the chart, got the market maker chart buttons on there, got the MMT ultimate delta, up down tick mode, not using cumulative, just per bar delta. I've got the delta candles paint bars on, so this is painting the inside of the candles, not the outline. The outline is unchecked. I've got all three levels on, 100, 250, and 500. Those are some MNQ 1 minute chart levels that I've been playing around with. So for all the colors, neutral, level 1, level 2, those are all black for both the up and the down. Level 3 up brush is green, level 3 down brush is dark red. I've got the delta diamonds printing arrows. This is very important as the market maker indicator only recognizes arrows. If you want to see the delta signals but you don't want the market maker to take the trades from it, you can choose diamonds or triangles. But if you do want to take trades from it, make sure it's selected as arrows. See, I've got the delta diamonds level 3 on. It's checked on there. The delta diamonds on tick. If this is checked on, the signals will appear intra-bar on each tick. If this is unchecked, they will only appear on bar close, no matter what you have the main chart settings set to. I've got my wick color set to white. This is very important if you're using a black chart. If you want to see the wicks in the histogram, make sure your wick color is set to white. For the ultimate Heikin Ashi, I am only using Heikin Ashi trend. Got this checked on, default settings. It's not painting the bars, it is just painting the outline. So the color outline is checked on. I've got the key levels on the chart. This is the same setup that is available as a template in the key levels WAP user area if you own the key levels. I've got the MMT gamma on the chart, just showing the strong current session gamma levels and the previous session levels. I've got the Greek profile on the chart. It's in delta profile mode. I've got the 250 SMA, got the 20 SMA, and I've got the built-in pivots. On the 5 minute chart, the bars are being painted by the MMT Ultimate Heikin Ashi. Same settings as the 1 minute, except it's printing the bar and the outline. All right, I've got some more playback data loaded. New York Open is about to happen. We are approaching VWAP here. I think this was the NFP news day. We're just about to hit 9:30. I'm going to put a pending buy order in. We just came down to VWAP, so I'd be looking for a VWAP bounce or an S1 pivot bounce. A lot of heavy selling right in this area though. but right at the open, might get a nice whip. So here's the market open. Well, we are breaking below VWAP. I still like a little bounce long if we get it. I'm just gonna leave my pending buy on. Well, looks like it was moving too fast and wasn't able to move my stop in time. And it looks like it just one ticked me there. All right, there's the take profit. A bunch of delta coming into the upside. But just because we had this pullback back to VWAP, I was expecting a little bit of a bounce there. We just popped up to pre-market center, had a nice bounce down there. I could put another pending buy in there. If we break above pre-market center, we got plenty of room up to yesterday's close there. All right, we hit 500. So we hit 500, got put into the trade. My stop loss got moved up to break even after we were 7 points in profit. So here's a bunch of negative delta coming in. Let's say I want to just manually get in. Gonna wait and see a little bit closer to the end of this candle. Looks like we're still trucking along there. I'm gonna get in short. Got my stop right above the highs here. There's 10 points. I'm never just taking a signal just because it appears off of any indicator. Factoring in a lot of different things. Like that first trade, I was factoring in a pullback back to VWAP. I was factoring in time of day. I'm always checking out the key levels, making sure I got plenty of room to get my take profit. So we got this pullback back to the 20 here. I'm going to put another pending buy order in. I think if we can get another strong delta push, we're going to break above these highs. We got nothing in the way until yesterday's close. Got a lot of strong buying in this area on the delta profile. Just got a strong delta signal at the downside, but it immediately went back into neutral. So if these arrows were printing on bar close, neither of these arrows would have appeared. So we ended up in neutral territory on the delta by the time the bar closed. Heikin Ashi just turned bullish on the 1 minute, and we closed bullish on the 5 minute. We've got a mixed bag on the delta here between the NQ and the ES. We got delta kind of steadily rising here. So I'm still feeling good about looking for a push to the upside, especially if we can break above this strong area of buying on the delta profile. I think we have a good chance of breaking pre-market center and these previous highs here. And right now, these current session strong gamma levels are holding. We got the 20 SMA, we got the 15-minute center. Heikin Ashi is turning bullish. Looks like we're about to get a delta threshold cross. There's the delta threshold cross. That trailing stop is just too tight. We got taken out for break even, but it definitely went in our favor. Just popped up over 20 points from where I got in. So it's always good to practice trade, test things out, test out your ATMs, see what's working, see what's not working. I think for this ATM, I'm gonna adjust the trailing stop, have it not be so tight. We just got a strong delta down signal somewhere up here. Just popped down 20 points from there. Could have had a pending sell order ready to go as we were approaching this next cluster of key levels and grabbed a short there. So there's no magic indicator that's going to make anyone a better trader overnight. There's nothing that's ever going to take the place of time in the markets and personal experience. We're all very unique. We're all going to notice something very different in the markets. But these are some of the ways that I'm using this setup. There are links to all the MMT indicators in the description. Anyone that's out there using code MonkeyMan at any of the prop firms is absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for your support. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I wish you best of luck in your trading. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.